So this type of question um, says that fabric was bought at Xmart because their price of $5 per square foot was better than Mart's price of $19 per square yard. So this is a conversion problem. This is something that was done in chapter 2. And so we want to decide whether the following statement that I read, well, the statement that I previously read, makes sense or does not make sense, and then explain the reasoning. So in order to do this type of problem, what we have to do is convert them both to the same units. And we don't have the same units here. So we need to compare. We either want them both in square feet or both in square yards. So you could go either way. What I'm going to do is say, well, Xmart is $5 per square feet. For $5 per square foot, I'm sorry. So the units look like this. And I want to get that into dollars per square yard. So I need to multiply by some conversion factor so that I get dollars on the top and square yards on the bottom. And so then I will be in the same units that are listed here. And I know that using my formula sheet, I can look up that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. That is on the formula sheet on the front page. So if I go here, let me grab my formula sheet. That's right here on the front page, 3 feet, 1 yard. But this isn't yards and feet. This is square yards and square feet. So in order to do the conversion, what I have to do is I need to square my conversion factor. And so 3 squared is 9, and then feet squared would be feet squared. 1 squared, 1 times 1 is 1, and yards squared would look like this. So this is the conversion factor I need to use. I have to create it from that. Now I either need to write it like this, or I need to write it like this. And it just depends on the particular problem. And in this problem, I have feet squared on the denominator. So I need the feet squared in the opposite location because I want to get yards squared in the denominator. So I'm not going to use it like this, but I'm going to use it here. And so the 9 goes with the feet squared and the 1 goes with the yards squared. And then multiplying across, this would go away. So that tells me that I will get $45. 5 times 9 is $45 per square yard. So I can now change this and I can say, well, Xmart is $45 per square yard. And the same fabric at Walmart is $19 per square yard. So would I want to say fabric was bought at Xmart because their price of $5 per square foot was better than the Walmart's price of $19 per square yard. So looking at it, when I see this, oh, that's a lower number, that is better, but I can't compare it. It's not apples to apples. I have apples to oranges here. I have square feet, and this is square yards. So now that I did the conversion, now I can see that Xmart is actually quite a bit more expensive per square yard versus Ymart. So the statement that I just wrote here would not make sense because the $5 per square feet is actually greater than the price of $19 per square yard. And then it says, which is equivalent to blank per square foot. So I found the price per square yard, but it actually wants the price per square foot. So let's do it the other way. So I said there's two ways you can do it. It just depends on what the question's asking. So does it ask to say, is it $45 per square yard, or does it say per square foot? So I'm going to take the same problem. I'm going to write what it was previously. $5 per square foot. And this one was $19 per square yard. My superscript 2 is a little neater. And so instead of doing what we just did and converting this to square yards, what I can do to fill in the blank there is not convert this to square feet. So I'm showing you both ways to do it because it could have a different question in the problem. So converting this, I need to take the $19 per square yard and I need to multiply it by a conversion factor to make it dollars per square foot because that's what I need to fill in the blank. So again, it's the same. We saw that there are 9 square feet in 1 square yard, so same conversion factor. This time, because I want to get rid of yards, I'll put yards in the numerator and I will put feet squared in the denominator. So it'll be 19 times 1 divided by 9. I'm going to grab my calculator to do that work. So 19. Now I don't have to multiply by the 1 because 1 times anything is that anything. So just divide by the 9 and get 2.11111. Round it to the nearest cent. When we're talking about dollars, we typically round to the nearest cent, which is the 100th place. So that is what I would put in the blank because it would not make sense to go buy the same fabric at Xmart. It's $5 per square foot, where at Ymart, it's $2.11 per square foot. So it is cheaper to buy it at Ymart. And that's how you approach that type of problem.